Stretch is about community basically. I think Stretch is something that Mandurah has wanted, and that the local government, the City of Mandurah, has put on because the need is there in the community already. And it's something that we basically every year try to keep up with the community and put on what they want us to do. It's something that it's become a real family. The Stretch Festival it's a real clique. We've got a lot of different people involved in it now, from different all sorts, so from families to artists to people who are into the environment, businesses, different parties. So yeah, lots of people are involved, and it's basically a celebration of Mandurah. And the way that we celebrate Mandurah is through the arts.
Common Thread's wearable art is like sculpture for the human form. It transforms the human body into a living, breathing, moving canvas. It crosses such disciplines as textile art, sculpture, full body painting and construction. It can be glued, it can be sewn, it may be stapled, welded or painted. It involves every art form across all skill levels. The garments don't need to be practical, but they do need to be wearable. This competition provides a platform for self-expression, to make a statement, to create drama, to be provocative and to challenge the concept of what is wearable. Today's judging is a closed event. Behind the scenes, it is a day full of glamour, emotion and immense pride. The winners will be decided today, but will remain a secret until the showcase event, where a selection of garments and body art will be presented in a full theatrical production.
From my perspective, the wearable arts is an opportunity for us to do something really exciting, innovative, new in the way of arts and culture in the city. It's an opportunity to broaden it out from kind of just painting and the kinds of things that people would ordinarily think of being art. And it's part of sitting in the Stretch Festival as well, which is about stretching people. And this morning we've heard a couple of stories from people who've designed things, saying it's the first time they've actually designed and put stuff on a body. So again, that's a kind of a different look. So it's about stretching as well as the kind of furthering of what we can do with arts and culture in the city.
90% recycled. All of the clothing actually came from the op shops. We love op shops. And then these are all the drink bottles. And we've used plastic straws, little jelly cups. These are the bottoms of the drink bottles. Probably the only thing we did purchase are these little things here, but all the rest of it's recycled materials. When we thought of the word drift, we just thought of a dandelion. You know, when you're a young child and you blow the dandelion and all drifts on the wind. Whereas nowadays we're too busy trying to weed acres and acres around the garden.
Get rid of it. You can't really look at it, shows more of the brains behind it. I'm just a lot of the collecting and helping with the making of it.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff, because I've got school I work at, interest in it as well, and they would save me the drink bottles, straws, jelly cups, the works.
We saw all this stuff last year and we just thought, no, we're going to do it this year. So yeah, we'll be back again next year. We just want to find out what the theme is. So yeah.
Well, to give you some background about myself, I've always been interested in arts and fashion as a means of expressing oneself to the world. I'm a fashion stylist and self-taught jewellery designer who then went on to study millinery. I'm particularly passionate about racewear and have designed many winning ensembles for fashions on the field competitions. So with the understanding of the time and effort that goes into creating, processing and just designing these magnificent outfits, and also understanding the skill that's required to bring these together in a unique show-stopping format, I was absolutely honoured and thrilled to be asked to be a judge today. Well, this has just been an amazing experience for me. It's a real honour to be here and witness what these amazing artists have done. And it's completely different to what I'm used to, but it's just been a great learning journey for me to learn about the artists and how they've come to creating these unique pieces. It's just been magnificent.
And to see that amazing talent, and I know it's wearable art, and that's exactly what it was. I think it's a different take on fashion for me and most of the people involved. And I think it's just wonderful to see the level of the art and particularly the involvement from the youth. There weren't that many entries, but the ones that were there were just so good. And that's just going to be a wonderful thing, and I think it's a credit to the people that are involved, and I'm sure it's going to just get better and bigger every year.
This piece is called Where the Wild Things Are. The slow movement from consciousness to sleep, the drift. We are carried like water gently to our dreams. A succession of pictures and emotions pass through our mind. We go to where the wild things are, the fantastical situations and the unrestrained imagination. In daylight, the dream has all but disappeared. The garment, constructed of steel and leather, represents the journey or drift to sleep.
I've always liked stage, and I always like stage production, and I always like more unusual garments, so it seemed natural to follow into that. I have a grandmother who taught me to sew, and I lived in quite a remote area, and so to go to school I had to go on board with my grandmother, and she taught me to sew, and that's the whole journey of me sewing.
I myself have been involved with fashion. I won the Australian Wool Designers Awards sometimes, so I've got that concept there, and looking at the structures of sculpture and the structure of the arts in the concept of flow lines, of colour, of tone, of texture, of all the things. I was looking for a marriage and a level of technical correctness and excellence, and that's what I'm looking for in the levels of that, understanding that many of the competitors are hobbyists, others are professional, others are perhaps professional in a different category of the arts and are exploring a newity, and so bringing those all together gives everyone at different levels different opportunities, and so you take into consideration, and quite often that becomes very obvious at what you're looking at, but you take that into consideration, and that's what I'm looking for, the excellence and the talking of the individual through their artwork to me, the viewing audience.
Well, I'm an artist, and I'm a published author, so it's definitely changed the way I write. It's changed the way I colour the book covers, and it's also given me an insight into how to do some different artwork, different colours in my artwork. I loved the dragons, they just mesmerised me. And I also, there's a series out called Game of Thrones, where she plays all the dragons, and they just fascinate me. I love the dragons, Being able to use material, the softness of the material, the different colours I've used, like I've used curtains and cushions and drop cloths that I didn't need anymore. And so it's just, it's a lesson, it really is a lesson on how you can change and promote what you're doing here into what you're doing next.
So we always see the garments first, and then we've always got to provide a model that suits the actual garment, how they've been made and what they look like, because obviously the model will portray the whole garment, so it's really, really important to choose the model that suits the garment so they can showcase the garment correctly. It's so exciting for them because it's something different, it's not normal fashion, so for them to be able to get dressed up and their face to be made into that garment and everything to be made around that garment, it's very exciting for the model, and to be showcased and even photographed in something like that, it's really, really different, especially in Western Australia. It's very, very good for them. The event is growing enormously. The amount of time and effort and also people entering into the competition is amazing. The standards are just enormous, and all the years that I've been doing it, it's growing so much, and obviously growing every single year, and the passion and everything that everyone puts into it is just, it must be just such a credit to everybody. It's very, very good.
I had a lot of time all last year at home. I wasn't working due to illness, so we live on a property where there's
drifting leaves at the time when I had the idea to do it. So the leaves were just falling down everywhere. There was piles of leaves everywhere. So this one was about the leaves and the environment. And this one was later on at the end of the year when I sort of had a bit more energy and a bit more, I just wanted to get out and do things, and cranked up the music and relied on media quite a lot with social networking and videos and things like that. So that was my sort of drifting music, was my life for a few months. So that was the inspiration behind it.
This piece is entitled Magical Media. The inspiration for this outfit came at the end of a long period of treatment for cancer, which involved many days at home listening to the drifting sounds of music, TV and movies and social media time. It was a time of hope and of better times to come, and the design symbolises fighting and conquering an illness and getting back to fun and exciting times with the motto, whatever it takes. The outfit is created with 90% recycled materials with CD covers, mosaic CDs and DVDs, tape and film, melted and manipulated vinyl records, op-shop clothing, recycled chains and beading, guitar strings and picks.
I feel very honoured to be the person to model such a very creative and important, inspirational piece of art.
Jo is my mum's best friend, so when we got the news that she had cancer, it was heartbreaking to all of us. And when she asked me to model the dress, I couldn't be more happy to do it for her.
This is sort of the end, the celebration, the end of the hard work and the end of the cancer fight, I guess. So I'm hoping that I can do more. I guess who knows what the future will hold. I'm open to anything. I'm just happy to keep creating.
I've done this for 2 years now, and we actually look at the outfit from head to toe before we even go into makeup and hair. There are a few models that come through really quickly throughout the whole day, so we've literally got 5 to 10 minutes. So I study this throughout probably about 6 months before the show, and then we get straight into it.
It's given me a little bit more self-confidence. During school I was one of those kids that was really bullied, and I've always gone along saying, you know, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not good enough. And today, being dressed up, having makeup put on, I just like, for once, feel pretty.
We've incorporated what she wants and also our professional image as well. And looking at her gown, it's quite rock chic, so we just quickly teased it, put some curls in it, and just made sure that it went obviously from head to toe. The atmosphere, the creativity that we get from all the girls, and yeah, just having a good time really, and seeing the art side of the community of Mandurah.
I actually shoot a lot of models for a living, so when I was actually approached by the City of Mandurah to do the Wearable Art Fest, it was such a fantastic idea that I couldn't say no. For me as a photographer, it's actually really great because the more unusual stuff that I see, the more I can approach it in a more creative manner. Most of the images that you're actually trying to capture on the event are about the art and the outfit and how they actually look. It's not about the model, it's about the designers and what they're actually trying to portray. So you really have to look at the outfit as a whole and try and actually capture it in the best light that you actually can, so the designers' feelings are actually really shown to the public generally.
Yeah, I used hot glue gun. So that was quite nervous. Other than that, it was fun to make, yeah. And the mosaic's meant to represent all your different aspects, like your opportunities, experiences, and things that you go through. That's how I kind of interpreted it. And I love paint chips. I think everyone's outside. I was like running around, and everyone kind of walks up to you, and they're like, "Oh, that's nice." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's paint chips." And I'm like, "What?" And it's like, yeah.
Today's rehearsal, seeing the costumes and outfits helps to give me an idea of the colour palette that the artists are using, and I can represent and enhance this within the lighting of the show. I get to create special effects which will help draw out colours and elements to each costume, garment, to help promote them a lot better and create a visual spectacle that encapsulates the rest of the stage, as well as highlighting for the performers.
I've seen the competition grow over the last few years, and the scale and the size and of how it's grown, and certainly the quality of the garments. It's growing at an exponential rate, and I'm just so excited as a creative director to be able to enhance those garments in a more performance context. So I'll be working with the artists and with the models to take the wearable art and put it on stage to create a dynamic performance piece.
Having people understand how fabulous the competition is, and sometimes it's not until they come to the judging day that they realise the scale of what we're doing and the scale of the level of photography and hair and makeup and the presentation opportunities that they've got. And at that point, sometimes the frustration for me is seeing the penny drop with the designers, that I wish I'd just done that little bit more had I realised it was going to be such a sensational opportunity.
Expect a wonderfully dynamic, family-friendly show. I think the focus really is on these garments and bringing the garments to life. There will be professional dance involved in the show as well, so there'll be a lot of elements that are just really engaging to watch, and a really full dynamic show for the whole family.
I think we all agree at the council that that wearable art is really going to put us on the map. That wearable art has grown and grown and grown over the last 5 years, or so you could say it started, and really it's going to put Mandurah and say this is who Mandurah is. And you know, even this year we've got entries from all over Australia and some international. So it really has already, in the 3 years it's been this kind of competition at this level, it's just grown exponentially. It's huge. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes.
The future, I believe, is to grow this to be the premier wearable art event in Australia. At the moment, I do consider that we're the premier event in Western Australia, looking at the standard of the garments and the standard of the designers and their concepts and their grasp of the theme. The future will be probably a showcase that's televised. Within 5 years, I think that that's a reasonable expectation, but for the moment, year by year, we've grown significantly from the commencement 3 years ago.